Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here tonight in St. Louis at the Ready Room, in the Green Room. Lots of rooms in this statement. I'm here tonight with the lone Bellow. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Brian.
I'm Zach.
I'm Kaneen.
It's Kaneen, like Janine, and now you know. So, I was so excited. I got a message from Ben last night. Ben is over there somewhere. Hey Ben!
Hey Ben!
Hey Ben! And he's like, hey, I'm coming to town with the Lone Bellow tomorrow. And I was like, oh my God, that's right. He's like, we should do an interview. And I'm like, we should. Here we are.
Here we are.
Ironically, I met you 2 summers ago, coming off stage in a very, very loud, cool room in Philly. Was it Feed More People? Maybe? Feed the People?
Feed all of them?
Feed the People.
Hopefully.
I paid a lot of money to get in. Somebody got fed off of our intro. Great. And I got to hear you guys, and I was so impressed. And so I'm thrilled to be here with you tonight. I was listening to the new album today. It's fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Let's talk about that for a minute, the new album. I hear you got to produce it with someone who I totally admire.
Dave Cobb.
Ever heard of Dave Cobb? If you haven't heard of Dave Cobb, then you haven't been watching my blog at all. Dave Cobb is a genius.
He is so good looking too. Don't tell him I said that.
Nobody tell him that.
He probably already knows you think that.
Yeah.
Do you have a man crush on Dave?
Super duper.
Yeah. I have a crush on Dave because of his talent. And then he's a pretty good looking guy, but...
See, it's swapped with me.
The truth comes out.
Right.
It was amazing working with him. I mean, we were at RCA Studios. He had the whole place just like at his fingertips.
Yes.
And yeah, it was unreal. It was so much fun.
Yes.
And we were kind of sandwiched in between, like, he did Isabel, Brandy, and us all within, like, 4 days, 3 days? Just kidding. No, all within, like, a couple months. And the energy was... And Stapleton's new record was, like, right after us. So, it was awesome.
Yes. I have no doubt. You know, everything I see lately that Dave touches, you know, he's worked with you and the people you just mentioned, and then my friends Judah and the Lion.
Yeah.
And so... I'm just so respectful of Dave Cobb and what he's done, and you know, it's pretty fun to watch him too go on the road with Chris sometimes. You know, he'll just pop up in random cities.
SNL.
Oh no, SNL! I'm like, oh my God, Dave's on tonight! Like I get super excited, like I know it. You know,
that's how he was in the studio
too.
too.
That he does.
Yeah, he's got that bob thing.
That's how he was in the studio too. Like we'd go over it, and he had a little like living room over here, and then we'd practice it and then go play it 1 or 2 times. But he would grab a guitar and sit and play with us,
right,
and all that.
You're like, yeah, we think you can have a credit on the album.
Well,
yeah, you know.
Crazy enough, Brent Cobb came by the studio, and we had never met him before. He was just like coming by with his grandma, and so Brian's from Sandersville, Georgia, and help me. She tied it together that you and Brent and Dave and herself were all related.
Yeah, there was a riff in the family around Hamburg State Park in Georgia, and somebody did something wrong. And I think it was my family.
Right.
And they stayed in Hamburg, and the rest of the Cobbs went to Cobb County. And
where I'm from.
It all comes full circle. So are you a bitch-ass cousin of Dave as well?
Yeah, we're all bitch-ass cousins. Yeah.
That's how it is.
Everybody in Georgia. Everybody is related in Georgia. You know.
I'm a Georgia Peach.
Yeah.
I was born there. Yeah.
Where at?
Warner Robins Air Force Base.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. A long time ago, but we don't need to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when Brent talks about Dave, he talks about the story of his bitch-ass cousin, and I laugh every time. So the album is great. I hear a lot of influences, but I want to hear what you guys have to say about your influences, because I hear so many. I started taking notes, and then I just stopped and let myself absorb the album. You know, like it was so delicious.
Oh man, I want to see your notes.
Yeah, that would be enlightening. But we did talk a lot about the Beatles, because
Yes.
Dave and I could probably talk about the Beatles all day, every day, and get nothing done.
Yes.
But I think on May You Be Well, that was really inspired by some different Beatles and John Lennon songs.
I can hear that. I heard the Eagles the first opening bars and Maybe Be Well. I was like, ooh, I got a little chill just thinking about it. I get to see them tomorrow night.
We went in the studio and it was 6/8. He was like, no, it's supposed to be 4/4. We were like,
thank God.
Thank God.
There's just something about it. It is very Beatles-esque, that hopeful, loving. And I read about today about when he wrote this song and behind it. And you know, in this day and age, one of you put up, is it maybe on Instagram? I did a lot of studying today. A post about the shootings.
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, that's my oldest daughter, Loretta, in the video.
Yes, it's been a rough time in the world, in the United States, and I read that today and I started crying because I had to talk with my daughter this week about if they've gone over this at school, and I was like, I've always been worried about drugs and alcohol and car wrecks and boys. And now I'm like, when I was growing up, this isn't a thought I had. There were other thoughts, like the bad guys that can get you. But I asked her today about school drills, and she said we did an active shooter drill. And she hadn't told me that before. And then I read what you wrote. And as parents in this society, it's really hard, and I think one of the ways we can talk to people, because we don't always have the words, is for musicians like you to write them so that people can sing them, so that there's some hope. And that's what I felt in that song. And then when I read that, I was like, okay, good, I'm on the right track.
Right on.
You know, is that part of the impetus behind it?
For sure. I mean, it was a blessing. We were trying to bless, first, my kids, and then it turned into all youth, and now it's turned into a thing where in the middle of the concert we're just trying to just bless the crowd, and then they sing it back to us, and it's beautiful. I do want to tell you that there's a special thing on this tour where I just want you to know.
I want to know.
The CNC drum company that makes those incredible drums. The drums that were in the parachuting are on stage tonight, and they're the only instrument from the parachuting that wasn't incinerated after concert, and they were sent back to CNC, and they rebuilt them, and
we got to meet the people from CNC yesterday in front of the show.
Yeah.
It was super beautiful.
Okay, well.
Yeah,
you left me speechless.
Yeah, the drummer that's out with us, everybody was just going to burn it. He was like, I'm keeping those. I'm not going to forget this. And I love his intentionality about it. When he got the CNC, people took it and rebuilt it. And it's incredible.
I think all of us, and you guys are on the road every night. I'm at shows 4 or 5 nights a week. So we have to think about that in our world too.
Oh, yeah.
Not just our kids. We're women. I feel when I'm out on the street, I have to be more prepared. Then I come to venues, and I feel I have to be prepared. And then as musicians, you're a target. And, it's a scary world. And one of the things that always brings it back for me is music. Because I think you might agree with this as humans, there's very few places we can get lost or be present. And standing in front of one of your favorite musicians is one of the only places I'm present, which brings me closer to God, because it's the only time my internal dialogue stops. Because I'm with the band.
Yeah.
Or when I'm in an interview, it's over there, not here, and it's lost. It's not, oh my God, is my lipstick right? Is my hair right? Yeah. You have to let go of those things. And so I so appreciate people who write music with authenticity, because there's plenty of it out there that's not. I'm not putting anybody down. But music with a message to me is so much more authentic and delicious and needed. And I actually think with people like you and Dave Cobb and Jason Isbell writing lyrics, Judah and the Lion, they want to make a difference. The pendulum, I think, is starting to swing back to authenticity and away from the click track, and there's some more authenticity and scratches on records. You can hear things, and it's real.
I think there's a life-changing quote for me. We played just a few hours after the Paris attack happened. We played a show in New York in the same size venue, and I remember seeing the venue filled with people. My siblings were there, and just kind of choosing at that moment. I was like, I don't want to be afraid. and I was like, I know music has some role in this, and I was just kind of scouring the internet for, I don't know, whatever, and this Alan Toussaint quote came up, and we had just lost him, and he has this quote that says, music has a role to lift you up, not to be escapist, but to bring you out of misery. Ooh. And I just thought that was like the most beautiful and direct way to describe what it does, you know. It's not, you can't escape your problems, but this can be something that can bolster you and keep you from, just misery, and keep you from a place where you can't access those emotions and you can't share them with other people. And I think something we always desire in our shows is to let people experience whatever they need to. It needs to be a cathartic release for us and for them.
Yes.
And that is the handshake that we go into with every show. It's like, if you want to just be rowdy and sing along and act a fool, like, go ahead if that's what you need.
Right. Which might happen
Which
tonight.
might happen tonight at a St.
Well, it is St. Patrick's Day. It is St. Patty's Day here in St. Louis. Just walking here, trust me, the alcohol's been consumed today. Oh my stars! I mean, I was like, the sun is still up and the people are drunk. It's gonna be a fun night tonight in the loo.
But if you want to cry, if you want to, you know,
yes. And a lot of my favorite shows are the ones where they take you through all the emotions.
Yeah.
You know, like you stand in front of Stapleton, you stand in front of Visible, even Shoot and the Lion, they're fun. But if you know what's behind their songs, Zach Brown, you know, if you know their lyric and their attitude, then you know. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people are moved and they don't know why, and I'm like, that's because you got present. Because you got out of your own way. And so few people in the world are present anymore, in my opinion. So the other thing I noticed was that you produced with Charlie Peacock before, and I know him. I just adore him.
I know him.
He had this killer idea. I mean, he produced our first record.
Right.
We were like a band for just a couple months, and he had the idea of making the record in our favorite venue in New York, this little room called Rockwood Music Hall.
Okay.
And the guy that owned Rockwood, Ken Rockwood, who was like a mentor of mine for years, gave us the venue for 3 days and 3 nights, which is a big deal. This is one of those venues that has show after show after show every single night of the week. I mean, starting at like 3 p.m. and going to like 2 a.m.
Like 10 sets a night at least. Yeah.
So him giving us that room, it was
that's
so
a gift. Fun. That's an extraordinary gift.
Yeah.
Well, and Charlie is, I mean, Brett Bourgeois Tag. I mean, when I met Charlie, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean,
it was like he came to our church.
He was in the middle of the Civil War
and
the Civil Wars thing, and I was like,
yes.
How's it
he was working with them, I think, when I met him. But Bourgeois Tag, and I Don't Mind, is one of my favorite songs of all time. And Charlie and Brent worked together on that album.
Oh, really?
And then Brent had this beautiful piece of art in Dallas that he didn't know what to do with. And my friend is a well-known landscape design artist, and so he took it to their house. So Brent Bourgeois' artwork is in my friend's backyard, all because of meeting Charlie.
I don't know what it is.
The big piece of art?
I don't know what Bourgeois.
Brett Bourgeois. He wrote the song "I Don't Mind at All." Bourgeois Tag, the band.
Oh,
you're young. You may not know. I'm so much older than them. I don't want to say. But anyway, edit. No, I'm just kidding.
It's in post.
Oh my gosh. So you've toured with some people that I know and love.
Oh yeah.
You've toured with Anderson East.
Yes.
God, that man.
The Murray Brothers.
Oh.
Or even funner. Just kidding.
Just kidding, Anderson.
But
Drew Holcomb, look, I wore the Drew Love Your Neighbor because it's St. Patrick's Day.
We've done a little bit with Drew, yeah.
Done some festival? Either
Done
you've done or there's
festivals.
some coming up that you're doing with Drew.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because you do a lot of fun
festivals
festivals.
together, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so, yes.
And then we've done some weird stuff like the National. I don't know if you've ever heard of the National.
I have.
So we've done some stuff in the National, and that's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Especially being like in the genre that people just kind of like toss us in. It's great.
You get tossed in Americana.
I mean, I guess it's.
I think
who knows? It's like,
do you? Because I'm not sure. Like,
I know, right?
I'm always like.
I think Americana's kind of become the genre grab bag.
I think.
Well, genres just like don't even exist anymore.
I know. I said to someone, "Are you genre-less?" And they're like, "I'm gonna steal that." I'm like, "You can't. Are you genre-fied?"
So
that was my line.
It was fun playing those shows.
Yes.
But then like Eric Church was fun too. We had to cut
How
our
can you
teeth.
not have fun with Eric Church? That man puts on the
An
best
incredible
live show.
The big demon comes up and you're just like,
And then all these people, I'm like, how'd they get those little bottles of Jack Daniels into this venue?
Yeah.
People are
Seriously.
sneaky.
Yeah.
I think there was some shoving and tugging. I don't think I would.
Shoving and tugging.
I don't think I would have been drinking those Jack Daniels.
All right, shoving and tugging.
Next record, shoving and tucking.
I want a credit on that.
I know, we got it.
Credit the Duchess. He's like, I got a song. He's like, he's already in his mind. But no, Eric's sets are amazing.
Yeah.
My friend, he just did recently. My friend Ashley McBride got to do Bible in a 44 on stage with Eric,
Cool.
Nice.
and she
And his
was
band
here.
is so cool. It's
That
such an
chick,
incredible
what's
crew.
that chick's
They're
name?
also
She's
kind
so good. The blonde lady. God, I'm so sorry, I can't think of her
I don't
name.
think there was
I
a
don't think
lady
he
out
had.
with us.
Oh, on the last tour she was on.
Oh, this is like
This
a couple
was a
years
few
ago.
Oh, got it. But anyway, Eric's amazing. I'm excited to hear you guys play again tonight because at that festival I only got a snippet of you, and then you were here with Anderson recently in the last couple of years. Having a timeline issue today, and I was out of town, and I was like,
man.
wah wah, because the venue you were in was extraordinary, and
The
your sound and
Stone
harmonies.
House or whatnot.
The Sheldon is where I believe you
Oh,
were.
cool.
Was
But-
that where you left your journal out and the people thought you'd left it out for
No, you remember we made the
reading?
fake journal. That was a fake
No,
journal.
no. Zach left his journal on a table.
Oh, God.
This is why we made the fake journal, and our friend Grady was out. And Zach's journal was on a table, and he goes back to the table, and all these people are just like reading.
Oh my, like lyrics stuff.
Yeah.
No, it was Grady's journal because Grady was writing about the band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, we made
They're
a
like,
fake
we thought it
journal.
was
We
like
write
the
like
fans
fake
are.
entries and like super.
And just wait for
just
social
dumb.
media to
We
write.
just leave
Yeah.
it out for people to read.
We wrote like Lone Bellow secret journal for Lone Bellow eyes only, and we would just like write like Zach is the worst. And, like,
I'm going to start a fake Twitter account.
Oh, yeah.
Like just to start rumors. Like, so listen to what I thought I heard in my dream last night. You know, that's so funny. People are,
People
fans are sometimes great, and sometimes like I had someone at Amos Lee recently dive on the stage and get kicked out to get a set list. I'm like, sweetie, it's a piece of paper. So I mean, I have a lot of them, but I've never gone onto a stage to get one. Like, you're gonna get hit in the head with a baton.
And like, it's pretty chill music.
Right, I'm like,
To,
it's
like, dive on
Amos.
stage.
Like, I was like, and then when Sturgill was here last fall, a guy went on the stage and did the worm across the stage. And Sturgill wrote a whole monologue about how cool the dude was. And I was on the front row, so I got all these pictures and sent them to
Was
them. And,
Sturgill in his New Balances?
of course.
I
You know, he's
love
got
that.
the cosmic ones.
Yeah, just
Like, he's got cosmic
What?
high tops. I have photos of just his feet. He probably is like,
Yeah.
listen, chick, can you stop taking photos of
we
my
got to
feet?
open for him. We opened for Isabel too, but when we opened for Sturgill, he had these like
The
baller,
cosmic tennis shoes.
just gray New Balances on, and I was like, "Do it."
He is
man.
a man after my own
See?
heart.
Yeah.
Fashion and shoes, gone in my 40s. I don't care anymore. If
Hey.
you do this 5 nights a week, your feet start to hurt after standing 6
And
hours a night.
stink.
Oh, dude. These women come in with $800 cowboy boots. I'm like, you're going to have piss and beer on your shoes, right? Joke's on you. Anyway, we went off on a tangent, but
Yeah,
it was
let me
fun.
tell one story.
I'm
You
ready.
can edit it out.
No, I want it.
But my wife was sitting in front of a fancy grocery store in Nashville,
Mm-hmm.
and we had just moved down from New York, and she had like really nice shoes on. They're called like number 9s. They're like really. She saved up for them forever and bought them. I mean, you don't wear
Like New
socks
York
or something?
shoes?
Yeah, they're like made in New York.
Okay.
She's
New York.
sitting out there, and she's like kind of bohemian. She like dresses
Oh, I'm sure she's a doll.
all over the place. And this sweet lady came up and was like, "Hello, ma'am." She was like, "Hi," and she talked to her for a long time. And Stacey was like, "Yeah, sit down, let's talk." And at the end of the conversation, she pulled out a bag of socks. She was like, "I've been where you are before. Just hang in there." She thought
She was
thought
homeless
Stacey
and had
was
no
homeless 'cause
socks?
She didn't have any socks on.
Carrie Bradshaw would be appalled.
Edit that out. I'm not allowed to tell that
No,
story.
Stacey, that's good
Stacey,
stuff right
that's-
there. Stacey, you are my Carrie Bradshaw video. Because didn't y'all move from Brooklyn to Nashville?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that a hard transition?
Super different.
It's so different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a completely different person when I'm in New York and Nashville, and I'm in both a lot. How
but we
was
had-
it for you?
We had such a crew in New York. We had such a community.
And we toured a lot, and our wives just had it locked down there, so it was really hard.
They had a
for all of
system.
us. Yeah, yeah.
Were you in New York as well?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was hard. But then, basically, where Nashville's located in America, we could tour
So much easier.
differently and be home more with our families.
Right.
So we could not argue with that.
Well, at the rate it's going, it might get New York crowded.
Hey,
Every time I drive in,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
I
oh,
know.
look, the skyline's different. Every 3 weeks. Oh,
It's
look.
different.
Oh, there's, wait, when that Weston wasn't there 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's so different.
Somebody slipped up and let me buy a house, so I'm there.
Yeah, you can hold on to that.
Not going
And sell,
anywhere.
that's your annuity, your retirement plan
All right.
is selling that house in Nashville. I mean, it's crazy, you know, but I kind of like it. It's very exciting for me. Not New York exciting. It's not 24/7. I mean, go to the Hermitage, but apparently they built a 5-story diner. Haven't gone to that downtown yet. But
Are you talking about the Hermitage Cafe?
yeah.
Oh yeah, with TT.
Oh yeah.
She fed my son his first piece of food, and it was like chocolate. It was awesome.
That's such the Hermitage Cafe.
Yeah.
I love going there at night because you never know who's going to walk
Oh,
in.
it's so wonderful.
And you're so tired. And if you're Ubering drunk, if you're driving not. And you just never know. And I'm like, I just want some eggs and bacon. And, you know, you're just like, you know, you're exhausted. And I love that place.
Mhm.
I think it's the funnest little hangout in Nashville.
I've only been there for the morning hang.
Oh,
the late night hang
honey.
is the
The
hang.
late night hang is the
Yeah.
hang. Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
never know who's going to walk
It'd be
in.
bad if I was doing the late night hanging with my baby.
Yeah, I'm glad you've only been there with the baby during the day with the
Come
baby.
on, Harlan, it's 2 o'clock in the night. We have to go.
It's your time for your feeding, son.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, so the new album, let's talk about where people can get the music and where they can find you on social media.
Okay.
The interweb.
LinkedIn,
At the Lone Bellow.
MySpace,
MySpace?
Dot.
Instagram.
that
It
org.
did have a link.
Yeah, LinkedIn. That was good. No, it's at the Lone Bellow on Twitter or Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah.
TheLoneBellow.com.
The Lone Bellow, 2 L's, not the Lone Below. The
We
sticker
actually-
box and the Lone Below.
People look up the Duchess with the T quite often.
We made CDs and we just like pour them off of buildings.
In New York and
Like-
Nashville, because
like
now they're
birds.
all
Like, here, take them.
like skeet shooting, but album shooting.
Yeah.
We have to make a video of that
Dude,
sometime.
might as well. They're sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
Oh my gosh. So you can find their music at all their sites. They're playing here tonight. This interview won't air for a few days, but
Because you gotta edit out that part.
so
where it's on the way.
I love that story. We're gonna text her when we get done and make sure I don't have to edit it out. So anyway, I'm just thrilled to see you guys again. I'm thrilled I get to see a whole set. I'm thankful for Ben for asking me to come in and do this. And so I'm Cheryl Swift, Duchess of Rock and Roll, here tonight at the Ready Room in St. Louis with The Lone Bellow. You want to check them out online. And we wish you all peace, love, and rock and roll.
I got a piece so